Hey friends, are you feeling the springtime vibes? I am, and the weather is not totally agreeing with me. We had hail this week, so I'm gonna bring that springtime vibe into my clothes, and we're gonna make a cute 1960s sheath dress out of this totally vintage linen that my mom actually gave to me for fixing her serger. So it's awesome. So let's get to work. Welcome to Queen Deluxe. Let's do some vintage sewing. This is the 1960s sheath dress pattern I'm using. It is Vogue 6157. I have previously cut it out. It has a front and a back and some facings. It has two side darts, and I'm sewing those from the point to the larger part of the dart. I find it easier. It's also a good way for beginners to start sewing darts. This whole dress is a great beginner project. It's not very involved, and it's a very good thing to start easing you into sewing. There are two very small shoulder darts that I'm sewing now. This dress has two cute little bows on the side vents, sort of at the knee area. So I'm making those with their little pattern. It's basically you just turn a tube and then tie it into a bow, so it's nothing complicated. So here I am going to turn my tube. So I'm putting a safety pin, a large safety pin, because I have room for such a safety pin, into my tube, and then I'm going to push it through the opening, and then it's going to end up turning it like so. You do have to have two open ends on, so it is legit a tube and not closed at the end. So that's how this works. I'm just gonna scoot it all the way through, super simple. So then I press that flat and then tie it into a bow, and I'll have to hand sew those ends down. But that's it. So on my front here, with the darts that I have pressed down, and then I'm going to put my back on. I'm just going to sew the shoulder seams together at 5/8. Alright, so I have my shoulder seams pressed open, and I have it laid out on the table. So this is the front and this is the back, and then I have my facing, and I'm not sewing the side seams yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pin this neckline together, and we'll end up sewing around the neck hole. And so I'm gonna pin that now, and then I'll take it to the machine. So it is sewn on the arm size and on the neckline. I have trimmed it down to 1/4 inch and clipped on all the important spots so everything will turn nicely. And now we're going to try to turn this. Now this is a very small section, so I have to pull like one side of the dress through there, so we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. Well, guess who forgot that you can't turn a donut? Which is a thing, because so I had to open up this shoulder basically to make it turn. And I know this, I don't know why I forgot. I'm sure you all were watching the video and yelling at me that it's not gonna work. And it didn't. So I guess this super simple sheath dress just broke me. No, it didn't break me. I ripped it out and I'm gonna fix it. Okay, so I'm gonna sew that. Just the right sides together, and then I will hand sew the inside, and then we're gonna sew out the sides. Before I sew the side seams, I'm going to understitch around the neckline to keep that facing from poking out. So that is stitching as close as I can to the edge here, catching those seam allowances, and this is on the facing side, so you don't see any of the stitching on the outside. Let's see. Here is the side seam and facing under the arm. And so I have pushed up the seam allowance going up on the front, and it will be going down in the back, and that will offset that bulk so that when we flip this and everything, it will be a little bit flatter with the iron and everything. And I did throw this on my body to make sure that the arm's eye wasn't too high. In the 1960s, the arm's eyes are very like close up into the armpit there and can be uncomfortable. So it is fine on this one, so I'm going to proceed. Alright, so these are my hem facings. I have decided not to line this dress, which was recommended in the Vogue pattern, but I just wanted this to be a lightweight linen summer dress, and I didn't want a lining in it. Ugh. So, my dress has a little vent on the sides of the dress, so it's going to be open up to here. So I'm just gonna sew like a 5/8 seam to the notch. So there's my side seam pressed. And then I am gonna put the hem facing on. So this is what it looks like. So I have one side stitched. So I start on this side, on the dress side, and I line up those stitches. So this is where I stopped for the vent, and this is where I started with the facing. The lighting's better there. There you go. So I have this side pinned, and I'm gonna start that now. Oh. Okay, problem. Okay. All right, kids, I have got the facing on. Here's my vent. Charming, cute. I do not want to hand sew this because I'm feeling lazy, so I'm going to do a blind hem on my machine. If you have a zigzag capability on your machine, you can do this too. You don't need any special feet. They do help if there are machines that have special feet, and go ahead and use them if you have one, but mine, I don't have one for mine. So I have it pinned up like this, and then you need to flip it like this so that you have an edge of just the hem and the rollback like that, okay? That's gonna go in here like this, like one that goes like this, okay? So that is, it goes straight for a little while and then does a big zigzag and then straight for a little while. And you want the zigzag to just catch the edge of the outside fabric, like that. And you just go all the way along. She's turned out so cute. Right? Quick little dress. It's linen, so you just look at it wrong and it will wrinkle. I have stitched in the ditch here to hold the facings down. Is this the side? I think that's the side I hand sewed shut. I'm not super pleased with the hem. Came out kind of big and ugly, but from just a few inches away, it looks fine. So am I gonna redo it eventually? Yes. Is that day today? No. All right, I'll show you a little reveal on me with hair and makeup. Oh my god, that bow is so cute. Hey, thanks for sewing with me today. If you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe, do all the things.
and I will see you next time. Bye, friends.